Hello there, welcome to Showcase. We start today with some exciting news, not only for the TRT family, but also for directors, writers, producers, as well as audiences worldwide who are fond of streaming services. Just recently, Tubi, TRT's international digital platform, made its launch with many of its originals. We are going to delve deeper into the new platform with our guest, but first, let's take a closer look at what Tubi has to offer.
We believe in the power of stories.
Turkey's public broadcaster TRT has recently launched its international digital streaming platform Tubi.
The power to uplift.
And starting from the 7th of May, it's available for streaming in 25 countries with 5 languages: Turkish, English, Spanish, Urdu, and Arabic. And through third-party partners, Tubi can also be viewed in more than 100 countries with select content. During the launch ceremony, TRT Director General Mehmet Zahid Sobeci said Tubi is a significant contribution for Turkey, and Turkish Communications Director Fahrettin Altun added that the platform enhances the country's pride and honor.
Today, TRT series are watched in more than 40 foreign languages in over 100 countries. I believe that this field will expand much more with this project. Now we are not only consuming, but also producing in the global arena. And we are demonstrating this in a concrete way in the cultural field as well.
To conquer our
From classical and popular TRT TV shows to new productions, Tubi aims to tell stories that bond us.
to change.
The digital platform has a lineup of 30 originals that include various genres such as a series on a 13th century poet Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi, an action show called Hur, and a psychological thriller series The Last Day. It also has a selection for kids, as it's initially designed as a family-friendly digital platform. Tubi is free in Turkey, and for abroad it has a subscription option, one for those who like historical dramas only, and the other with the full package. Audiences can access the platform on its website and YouTube channel. And the Tubi app will be available globally later this year, with even more language options as well as new TV shows, documentaries, and films.
Riyad Minty, Tubi Director of Business and Growth, joins me now. Riyad, hi, welcome to our show. TRT's digital platform Tubi started broadcasting just recently. What can we expect from Tubi and what kind of stories does it tell?
Hi, thanks for having me. Tubi is the new streaming platform from TRT. It has some amazing original content. We have something for everyone in the family. What we tried to do with this platform is we came up with a unique mix of content of something that is very value-driven, value-focused, something that's meaningful, something that really anyone in your household, starting from kids with our children's content into some amazing drama series. We've invested a lot in some really compelling original series, to documentaries, to movies. It's really a fantastic selection of content.
Riyad, our habits are changing as well, right? Young people especially watch solely digital platforms instead of TV and consume them so fast. In that sense, do you think Tubi will help to fill that need of good content?
Definitely. Over this last few years, we've seen that shift happening to younger audiences and older audiences. I think coming out of COVID and the lockdown period, I know my parents, for example, and a lot of the older people in my family ended up watching on-demand content. Habits have moved away from live broadcast where people want to sit down, watch what they want to watch when they want to watch it. And Tubi, our release strategy, the number of content that we have, the titles, I think really plays into that. It's accessible on any device, any platform that you may have, including on third-party platforms such as YouTube, where you can subscribe. So we're making it as accessible as possible to appeal to as wide range of audiences across different age groups as possible.
TRT Director General Mehmet Zahid Sobeci mentioned during the launch of Tubi that Turkey is the second only to the US in exporting productions. Why do you think Turkish shows are so attractive for audiences worldwide?
The stories, I think when you look at Turkish values and the values that come out of this part of the world, it's really unique. It's putting the family at the center of what you're doing. It's putting community at the heart of what we do. The stories are filled with hope, a lot of romance, love, coming together, support. And I think these values are really what connect us. And I think when we look at around the world, these, collective values that we may see in different parts of the world. That's what people are connecting to. I think looking at Turkish series and from the studies that we've done and the research that we've done, we found audiences around the world are really connecting around that. They're tired of seeing the normal type of storytelling that's coming out of your Hollywood or other different parts of the world. There's something unique about this that truly reflects the beauty of our humanity, the beauty of what brings us together. And that's really at the heart of Turkish storytelling. And our motto for Tabi is stories that bond us. That's what we're going with, because we've seen how these stories connect us around shared ideas and shared values.
And for our international audiences, I like to explain what tabi means. It means natural. Also, it's a term we use, us Turks, often used on a daily basis as sure, of course, and yes. I'm wondering how you decided on the name, and can you give me more details about the platform's branding, including its styled logo?
Sure. So we spent a very long time trying to come up with a name that works across multiple languages, multiple regions, doesn't have any different meanings, something that's easy, something that's simple. And most importantly, we wanted it to be a Turkish word because Tabi is really a Turkish platform that's from Turkey to the rest of the world. And so Tabi is something that it's simple. It sounds nice. It sounds beautiful. Yes, it's a common word in Turkey, but it's something that we also think can become a common word in people's everyday lives. And we hope that, wherever people are watching around the world, people, when they're talking to their friends, they will be saying Tabi wherever it is. It's really about simplicity. It's really about something that can roll off the tongue. For the logo side, we worked with some of the world's best agencies to kind of come up with a visual identity that can tell the story of what Tabi means. And what we came up with was the idea of a kaleidoscope, because a kaleidoscope is a mirror. It shows the world through amazing selection of colors. Every person that looks through it sees something unique, something different. And that kaleidoscope is really at the heart of what Tabi means. And if you look at our logo, it's really inspired by that. Our branding is inspired by a kaleidoscope, and that's reflected in our content and reflected everywhere else. So that's really at the heart of what we're doing.
So what about the children? I like to ask about them, actually, because internet is scary sometimes, right? It's an endless pool, especially for kids. So are there good shows for kids and their families?
Of course. So we have, obviously, TRT as a network, we have some amazing children's content coming from TRT Çocuk, our kids channel. All of that content is going to be dubbed into multiple languages across different platforms. It's available there. We've also licensed some amazing content for children. And the whole premise of Tabi is something that you can watch with your families. It's something that's safe, something that you can put on and enjoy from early childhood kids content. And even as you go through our shows, it's something that can be enjoyed with the family as we go through. So that's really at the heart of what we're trying to do, because as you mentioned, there's a lot of content that's out there. Even on YouTube, sometimes people think they're watching kids content, but 1 or 2 clicks away, you may land up in something that may seem like it's appropriate for kids, but it's not, and it doesn't really have those controls in place. So we're really trying to create a destination that's for the family, that everyone can enjoy, everyone can benefit from, everyone can feel inspired by.
Sounds like really healthy selection to me. So what about, how does Tabi differ from other streaming services such as Netflix and Disney+.
Our Turkish content and our storytelling. As I said, our entire brand is built around stories that bond us. Our original content and stories is things that you won't see elsewhere. We have an amazing series on Rumi, for example. We have a series called Hur, which is coming up soon, about the Turkish Air Force. We have a Turkish superhero series, Altay, that's coming down the line. It really comes down to content. And I think what our unique difference between all these platforms it's from this part of the world to the world, from Turkey to the world. And our tagline, what we've been saying internally, is for the next 5 billion, by the next 5 billion. And really drawing on the rich storytelling that's from this region, is from the outside trying to serve here. We're reversing that flow of storytelling. And that's really what's unique. That's what makes us different. And I hope that, audiences, wherever they are, when they watch this, they'll be able to connect and resonate with our stories.
Before we wrap up, can you give us a hint about the upcoming projects of Tabi?
The series are there. So I would say, locally, we've released a lot of our content already, 23 titles. We have a lot more coming. We have, more than 30, 40 original titles that are coming in the pipeline. I know our content team are working around the clock to come up with new creative ideas. We are always listening to the audience. Already in the first few days since launching, we really have feedback of what types of shows people would want to see on the platform, and we're taking that feedback on as it's going into our content library. And I think, people are really going to feel I hope they'll feel inspired and impressed by the selection of content that's there. It's a lot of content to get through. It's a lot of different storytelling to get through, but it is truly inspirational.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Showcase today, Riyad, Minty. Artists from around the world have gathered in northern Italy to reflect on ecological issues. And they are getting the message across under the motto, "Water is life, light is art."
Around 50 giant light installations have transformed the fountains and cultural treasures in the Italian town of Brixen. The art trail is on show as part of the Brixen Waterlight Festival, and this year's theme is the environment and peace.
The whole world is speaking about sustainability. The whole world is speaking about global warming. I think it's very important that the artists have the voice, that the artists are speaking, that the artists are expressing themselves via light installation. This is what the Waterlight Festival wants to send out.
This work by Danish artist Mads Vegas is called Misty Mystery.
It's about aerial mystery, things happening in the sky that we don't really know what is, or maybe we do, but back in the day we didn't know what it was. So it's about, aurora borealis, the northern lights, and about maybe it's the gods doing something, the thunder, the lightning, things like that.
And for another artist, although the future seems bleak, considering the effects of climate change on our planet, there's still hope.
Even if there are thousands of negative aspects we see right now, in our projection we also have this idea about a positive aspect, which we show because we are showing the whole thing as a loop. So everything which dissolves can grow again. And that's maybe the one aspect we want to point out, that we can still act and there's still hope.
The Brixen Light Festival is described as a place where art, light, water, and a head full of dreams and thoughts come together. It urges visitors to think about our world's issues and to be critical, but also to be playful and free to experience a roller coaster of emotions.
Art lovers in China showed such great interest in an exhibition that they forced the Shanghai Museum to bend the rules. For the first time, the museum opened its doors to the public for a whole day. Let's take a look.
People came to the Shanghai Museum even after dark to get a close look at some of the works of the greatest painters in the world. On the last day of the exhibition called Botticelli to Van Gogh, Masterpieces from the National Gallery, the museum held a day-long carnival for those who couldn't make it to the show earlier or wanted to see it again.
These paintings are the best in the world, and art lovers are eager to see them. I used to visit exhibitions during the day, but I don't have enough spare time anymore. This is my first time going to an exhibition at night. If I didn't come now, I wouldn't have been able to enjoy these paintings.
About half of the visitors came from other provinces, and 1 in 6 of them visited the showcase multiple times. And sales of the exhibition merchandise also hit a record high.
This time, the sales of cultural and creative products have exceeded $3 million, and the sales volume of cultural and creative products of a single exhibition has reached an unprecedented high. I think more and more museums are working very hard in this area and can also promote the museum to offer better and high-quality cultural products.
The madness has ended for now, and the museum hopes the enthusiasm will also spill over to its upcoming shows.
Engineers at Sweden's high-tech group Sandvik have managed to make what they call the impossible statue. Using AI, they combine the works of art masters who span 3 continents and 500 years. Here's more.
2.5 tons of steel, 5 sculpting styles from 5 different eras, and a number of AI systems. Sounds like a combination for chaos. But scientists from Sweden have utilized all this to make what they call the impossible statue. And they had quite a few questions to answer in the process.
If you take 5 artists from 5 wildly different eras and sources of influence, how do you combine them into one piece of art that's actually manufacturable? And so the challenge is, what AI systems are necessary for this? What digital twin systems are necessary in order to figure out if this is manufacturable, and how do we blend all of these things together into a single project that's done efficiently and results in a compelling and amazing piece of art?
Numerous AI systems were fed various aspects of the artists that made the cut, from the dynamic off-balance poses of Michelangelo, musculature and reflectiveness of Auguste Rodin, to defiance in the figures of Augusta Savage. Also in the play were the expressionist feeling of Kath Kollwitz and focus on momentum and mass exhibited by Takamura Kotaro.
We used very many AI models in this project. The first ones were image synthesis models, and multiple ones, because it was important that those models understood not only the artists, but also the context in which they created art, so different eras in time and that sort of thing. Once we were able to create images that really embodied the spirit of these artists, we also had new models that created 3D models that understood how the human body was posed and shaped and fabric, all that kind of stuff, that culminated in a final 3D model, which could then be manufactured.
The statue is not just an example of what innovative use of AI modeling can accomplish. It's also a demonstration of the latest cutting-edge manufacturing solutions.
It is quite a lot of work to program something complex like this. Usually we work with machine components, so flat surfaces, cylinders and so on. This is obviously a more free-form complex surface or shape that we have machined. And it's machined out of quite difficult material, stainless steel. So typically when you do these kind of showcases of softwares or metal cutting, it's typically an aluminium or something easy to machine. But we really wanted a challenge and to showcase our metal cutting knowledge.
The impossible statue is on display at Sweden's National Museum of Science and Technology, where it's hoped to stimulate future generations to pursue a career within STEM topics. They say this project is a summary of what a brilliant mind and modern technology can achieve when they work together.
As we mentioned earlier on the program, streaming service companies have changed the viewing habits of households. They aim to attract as many viewers as possible through original content. And Amazon hopes to one-up the competition with its new, highly ambitious production, Citadel.
Tell me you've never seen my face before?
Citadel tells the story of a spy agency that battles the villainous Manticore syndicate. In the age of blockbuster espionage franchises that see the likes of James Bond confront organizations like Spectre, this old chestnut premise is Amazon's attempt to bring that kind of blockbuster entertainment to the small screen. With a budget reported to be more than $300 million, the company aims to get a lion's share in the streaming competition, which includes rivals such as Netflix and Disney+. And just like Disney, Amazon plans to create its own universe, with various spin-offs set in other countries, to add more twists to its spy intrigue.
This was a very difficult show because it's an original story, so we have to build it brick by brick from the ground up. But on top of that, we then added 2 more regions that are also telling stories in Italy and India at the exact same time. Italy just wrapped production, India is about to start production. And we had to organize and keep keep everybody focused on a big communal story together. And it's been super rewarding, very hard, but incredibly rewarding.
I see you left me a few new toys.
Yes, I built them for my favorite spy.
Besides the scope of its production, the series is also expected to lure audiences with its combination of action and drama.
We had to try and do so much physical action, which can be really fun to do, but we're trying to intersplice it with drama. We use every second on screen. We don't just do a fight sequence with the stunt guy and then you go and do some acting. We tried to kind of smash the two together and tell a story with every opportunity we got. So that's what makes it taxing, but that's what makes it different and worth it.
Are you ready?
Reviews say Citadel spares no expense as far as the spectacle is concerned, but they still call it a business plan in search of a show. Old Guard movie studios also get similar criticism, but satisfactory box office figures. So that strategy of relying on larger-than-life extravaganzas with expanded universes might be the new mainstay for streaming companies in the foreseeable future.
Arabic calligraphy workshops attract Basra's youth who want to cultivate the traditional art form while adding a modern twist.
Modernity, technology, and the world of the internet and social media have affected this a lot. And this is why we have to promote art, because the font on the computer does not have an artistic touch. This is why we have to bring out the beauty of the Arabic letter through our handwritings, with all its rules and points.
We are currently having a course on the Rukba font because it is the simplest type of script and it takes a beginner less practice to master it. It is easier than other scripts. It takes less time to learn it. The other scripts are difficult, so they take more time to learn.
I use it and write calligraphy at home. I used to write on small sheets of paper. Now I write on a large piece of paper and put it in my room. It is beautiful. There are people who bought my calligraphy. The church bought them. I participated with them in the bazaar, so they bought it a lot. This encouraged me more.
A 1910 oil-on-canvas painting by French post-impressionist Henri Rousseau looks set to steal the show at Christie's New York Spring Auctions. Other highlights in the sale include works by Jean-Michel Basquiat and Pablo Picasso.
The rarest painting in this sale, the rarest painting in this season, the rarest painting we'll sell this year, I'd venture to say one of the 2 or 3 rarest paintings we've sold in the last 15 years or will sell in the next 15 years is a 1910 jungle masterpiece by Henri Rousseau. So this is immensely special for us, it's immensely special for the market. The last great jungle painting to sell privately or at auction was in the 1950s when MoMA bought the dream. So it's been a good long while. The estimate today is 20 to 30 million.
That's it for this episode of Showcase. I'm Esra Adrist from me and the whole team here in Istanbul. Thanks for watching and bye for now.